Well, I think you might agree that one of the advantages for the bibliophile in the modern age is having access, 24-hour-a-day access, to several gigantic virtual bookstores. And I went strolling through the aisles of one of those digital bookstores this week looking for titles that relate to trying to explain and clarify the meaning of the two verses we've arrived at in our study of Luke chapter 17, verses 5 and 6. And I recognize that there's a fairly broad consensus as to what these two verses mean, especially as you look at the best-selling books in the category that try to talk about what these verses are all about. And let me refamiliarize you with those verses, very short verses in Luke chapter 15, before I read you some of these titles that I came across. It simply reads this way. The apostle said to the Lord, "Increase our faith." And the Lord said, "If you had faith like a grain of mustard seed, you could say to this mulberry bush, 'Be uprooted and planted in the sea,' and it would obey you." Now, understanding that people today don't seem to have much interest in relocating trees in miraculous ways, you can safely understand why a lot of these titles seem to coalesce together in interpreting these texts in a very specific way, a way that doesn't relate to horticulture or farming or trees or plants. But they've replaced all of that, understanding that it's an analogy, with a very popular and best-selling way to look at verses like this. Here are a few titles. Title of one book, Mustard Seed Faith, which makes sense. Subtitle, now giving us a sense as to what we're trying to have faith for. Here's the subtitle, Prosperity Rules to Life. Here's another book based on the concept found in Luke 17, Faith-Based Wealth Building. Book all about that. Here's one from your smiley friend from Houston. Title, It's Your Time. Subtitle, Activate Your Faith and Achieve Your Dreams. Very common to find this kind of book, which sells better than, I guarantee you, most of the proper interpretations of a text like this. And they all are out there taking a passage like this and enlisting as the goal of what's in view here, all about our health, our prosperity, our wealth, our power, our success, our luxury, and our comfort. Now, it's been rightly perceived that a text without a context is a pretext. And there's ever been a tiny little text that has been taken out of its context and used as a pretext for all kinds of selfish and greedy things, it is these two verses that we've reached in our study of Luke chapter 17. Now,